I'm Lucinda Hawksley, the great-great-great-granddaughter of Charles Dickens. Let me take you around the house in which he was born 200 years ago. In 1809, John Dickens married Elizabeth Barrow, and they came shortly after. They were married in London. They came very shortly afterwards to Portsmouth because John Dickens had a job with the Navy and he worked in Portsmouth. They lived here until for the first few years of their marriage, and their eldest child, Fanny Frances, was born here in 1810, and then Charles was born here in 1812. And Elizabeth, many years later when her son was famous, would enjoy telling people the story that she had been at a ball dancing the night she went into labour with him. A feature of Charles's childhood seems to have been constant moving, wherever the family lived, wherever in the country. And this was because of the fact that John Dickens usually couldn't make the rent. So there would come a time when they would often do a kind of moonlit flit. And it must have been very frightening, living in constant fear of rent collectors and bailiffs. It really was a very poverty-stricken childhood, really. I mean, John, although he was lower middle class and earning a decent salary, just seems to have been incapable of living within his means. He came back to Portsmouth 3 times in his life. He came back once in the late 1830s when he was researching Nicholas Nickleby. He came back again in the 1850s and the 1860s. Both those latter times were to give reading tours. And on one of them, he and his friend and manager set off to walk around the city. He was a great walker. He loved walking. And they tried to find this house. He didn't know where it was. He knew vaguely where it was. And he desperately wanted to find his birthplace. And apparently he couldn't find it. He probably walked straight past it. It's very, very interesting being here because it's incredible, really, to think that the child who was born in this bedroom and to a very unremarkable family, nobody could ever have really thought when he was born, wow, this child is going to be world famous. That 200 years on, we're about to celebrate his bicentenary, and the love of Dickens all over the world is just as strong as it was in his lifetime.